She's gotta really be awful ugly. Well, the grass is green and the trees are brown. I've been sitting on this cold ground midst the naturous beauties of the world. Well, the skies are blue and the clouds are gray, and I ain't figured out today why I'm sitting here with such an ugly girl. She's gotta really be awful ugly.
When I saw her in the light of day, I didn't know she's built that way, with her hair laying over there on the dresser top. And not to mention some of the others, at a glance you'd swore we was brothers. But by then, friend, it was just too late to stop.
Would you believe I love an ugly girl? Would you believe it? Yes, I really do. Would you believe she ain't ugly? She's just an unpolished pearl. Don't laugh, friend, it could happen to you. Well, when I saw her on that hill, I'll admit it was quite a thrill that I regret today. And that's the last time in my life that I'll ever pick a wife, when I'm standing a half a mile away. She's gotta really be awful ugly.
What's done is done, and I gotta admit, in the dark, don't matter one bit. Old Ugly and me, we both get along real fine. Now a beautiful wife would be a delight, but this-a-way I can sleep at night with an ugly girl. I know them kids are mine.
Would you believe I love an ugly girl? Would you believe it? Yes, I really do. Would you believe she ain't ugly? She's just an unpolished pearl. Don't laugh, friend, it could happen to you. Well, don't laugh, friend, it could happen to you.
What I heard, she had a nice personality.
Well, don't laugh, friend, it could happen to you.
She wasn't bad for herself when she
Don't laugh,
clean.
friend,
That'd be one of those
it
guys.
could happen to you.
No name, what a shame. Nobody came to claim no name.
Well, I was born kind of sudden down in Arkansas, and nobody knew exactly who to call my pa. But my mama pointed out one particular man, and she said, "Sonny, you call him Papa every chance that you can." Well, it didn't make much difference to me, so I called him Papa just as naturally, and folks said there was a similarity. You see, his eyes were blue. Well, mine were too. The years passed by, and as a kid'll do, I ate a lot of grits and just grew and grew. And still, nobody came to make a claim. So I decided right then and there just to make myself a name. Mama said, "Sonny, everybody makes mistakes, but you gotta keep your chin up and look the world in the face. And don't go to judging others by whether they're rich or poor or what. Because it ain't who you are, it's what you do with what you got."
No name, what a shame. Nobody came to claim no name.
Well, a few years later, my mother passed away and left the only thing that she owned, and that was a little 10-acre tract that we called her home. And it wasn't much to look at till one day a fella drilled, and it was right smack dab in the middle of a big oil field. Well, a few days later, when the word got around, I had 6 or 7 papas in that old town. That's right, and all of them claiming I was his, right enough. But Mama taught me better than to fall for that kind of stuff. Then a funny thing happened there in that town where I was known as Little Orphan Andy with no papa of my own. All of a sudden, I was accepted by the cream of the crop. And on the social register, man, I was right up there at the top. But it didn't matter because I didn't have the time. I had lots of other things that were on my mind, like a schoolhouse, and a church, and a hospital, and some others. Then I was going to build a very special home for unwed mothers. Well, one morning the townsfolk came around and asked me if I'd meet them on the outskirts of town, and I said sure. Driving up there, I wondered why so many people came. Then I saw this great big old sign that said, "Welcome to No Name." Well, it's kind of late, but Mama, I wanted you to know that I remember all those things you told me a long time ago. And most of all, Mama, I want to tell you what, it sure ain't who you are, it's what you do with what you got.
No name, what a shame. Nobody came